13 years ago.
Well, that's good. You guys ready? All right. Do I hear a motion to go to reconvene open?
Motion made.
Second. Motion by Gutierrez, second by Rendon. All in favor? Aye. 709. Okay. Action determined in closed session. Student petition for reinstatement 452324 to permit conditional enrollment in a traditional school program or another education program. A motion.
Motion made.
Yes, I did. Motion by Gutierrez. Second by Vincelette. All in favor? Aye. Student petition for reinstatement 502324 to permit conditional enrollment in a traditional school program or another education program. Motion by Gutierrez, second by Vincelette. All in favor? Aye. All right. Student petition for reinstatement 462324 to permit conditional enrollment in a traditional school program or another education program. It's 4 because it wasn't there. Yeah.
Motion made.
Motion by Gutierrez, second by Vincelette. All in favor? Aye. Okay, this one. A recording of this meeting is being made and shall be kept for 30 days as a public record. Please stand for the pledge of allegiance. Great, put your right hand over your heart. Ready, begin. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Alright, roll call. I am here. Mario is here. Mr. Vincelette is here. Mrs. Rendon is here. And Justin is here as well.
Here.
And no student board member. Do I hear a motion to approve the agenda?
Motion to approve. Second.
Motion by Gutierrez, second by Vincelette. All in favor? Aye. Thank you. Okay, General Board of Trustees organizational meeting, but you will go first.
Okay, at this time I will administer the oath of office to our re-elected trustee, Mr. Robert Vincelette. So, Bob, if you would come on up.
Yes, ma'am. Are you sure you want to do this?
Pretty sure I'd like to, right here.
Okay.
All right. Raise your right hand.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. I
Robert Vincelette Jr.
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States
I will defend and support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of California
and the Constitution of the State of California
against all enemies, foreign and domestic,
against all enemies, foreign and domestic.
that I will bear true faith and allegiance
I will bear true faith and allegiance
to the Constitution of the United States
to the Constitution of the United
and
States
to the Constitution of the State of California,
and to the Constitution of the State of California,
that I take this obligation freely
that I take this obligation freely
without any mental reservation
without any mental reservation
or purpose of evasion,
or purpose of evasion,
and that I will well and faithfully discharge
that I will well and faithfully discharge
the duties upon which I am about to enter.
the duties that I'm about to enter. Okay,
All right.
am I done? Thank you.
Good.
Oh, okay. Oh, let me take a picture. Okay, thank you. Oh, hold on. Okay, wait a second. Okay, I'm gonna get it. Thank you. I got it. Thank you.
Brenda, thanks for coming tonight and this was good with us. Appreciate it. And Cheryl too. But she had it.
Wouldn't miss it. would also, Madam President, like to acknowledge that the oath of office was given to our newly elected trustee, Mr. Justin Wright, on Wednesday, December 11th, 2024. And congratulations again to Mr. Wright, who's joining us via Zoom.
Thank you.
Okay. Election of board officers.
Okay, at this time, board, I would like you to consider the office of president for the Southern Curry Unified School District Governing Board of Trustees. Do I have a motion for anyone?
I'm going to move for Mario to be the next year's president.
I will second that.
Motion. Seconded by Heather. Mario.
Okay.
Does he actually say?
We doing the minute?
Yes, I will accept.
Okay, we need to vote.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay, sounds like you have a fine, vote for that.
Second.
Then Mario can now conduct the election for the vice president. Then after they're all done, then we'll rearrange.
Yep.
Okay.
I'll accept nominations for the vice president. If I may, I will go ahead and nominate Bob to be my vice president.
Well, you haven't been seconded yet.
No, but I'm just letting you know.
I will second that.
I'm just letting everybody know that we accept it.
Accept all of them.
I'm ready. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Accept nominations for clerk of the board. I would like to nominate Sunny.
I will second that.
I will accept, yes.
All in favor?
Aye.
County representative,
Now, Mr.
yes.
Charis, I'd like to reorg now. Change the seating now, then we'll do the comments. Justin would be last. No, Adrian. Oh, no, that's the other Adrian. Okay.
Yeah. Then that's his. And then it's mine.
Can you just explain to people things, any of these?
We need a representative to the county. If you accept this one, all of the meetings are in Bakersfield. Is there anybody who can make those meetings? I cannot at this time, so.
How often are these county representative meetings?
Like twice a year?
Yeah. Twice a year. You? So what is it?
It's kind of like our, you are there to take the reports from the superintendent of schools and the presenting. They sometimes have a speaker, kind of like our dinner meeting that we have with AD. But it is in downtown Bakersfield. I did it for a couple of times, but the way my business businesses right now. I do not have the time.
This is later in the day.
They start at 5 o'clock.
Yeah, 5 o'clock, you.
If you can. The alternate. Out.
Good, good, second? Okay, we'll nominate the second.
That was you who nominated her.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Alternative, to the representative, if the representative can't go, we can go in their place.
I make a motion for each.
I'll second it. All in favor?
Aye.
You may want to ask. Just ask.
Justin,
Yes.
we did not hear you.
Yes, aye.
Okay, thank you.
Alternate? Yes.
Okay, for the committees, we have budget. Right now, we, myself and Bob Vincelet. Does anybody else wish to go on that committee? David?
I will stay.
Okay, then it's myself and Bob. On board policy, yes, ma'am.
I was just gonna ask you, sir, if you would please mention to Justin that when he hears these committees, if he has an interest, that would be the time he might want to
Yes.
speak up and say, I like that.
Speak up if you like want to be on one of these committees.
I'm interested in projects and planning, along with IT and safety and security. That's it.
Board policy,
I'll stay on that.
Ms. Nelson. All right, I'll stay on there with you, if nobody else will. Curriculum,
I'll stay on.
athletics,
Definitely want to stay on.
Justin, are you interested in being on the athletic committee, or?
No, I'm good. Next one, projects and planning, yes.
Anybody else? Athletics, you'll usually do a couple times a year, and you basically go over the policy that all the teams have to abide by, and go over a lot of the CIF rules. And if there's any changes, you want to make sure that all the coaches and the administration knows about it.
There's one of the recommendations that I'm going to make later on is that the CIF state director has volunteered to come down. We just need to set up and request that he come down and explain exactly what we'd have to do, kind of a workshop. Okay, so that's what, kind of things that we'll be doing.
Yeah, right now it's Bob and myself, so.
I am interested in that.
So you want to?
If you don't want to, then I will take your spot.
I'll let you. Projects and planning. I'm definitely on that one.
Justin is
And
interested.
Justin is,
Justin, correct? Mr. Wright?
Yes. Projects and planning?
yes.
Yes, projects and planning.
Discipline review.
I can stay on. Well, if you. Adrian. I know the one I want though is safety and security.
So Sunny and Adrian
Discipline.
on discipline review. Calendar committee.
I don't have a problem staying on.
Brenda, you gonna stay on there?
Yes, that was, that's fine.
Information and technology.
I'm gonna stay.
I'd like to toss my hat in that one.
Safety and security.
I'd like to
I'd like that one.
stay.
I would like
I'd like to join safety and security.
So we have one too many
Yep.
on safety.
I'll make the motion for Adrian, for safety and security. Sorry, there has to be only 3.
Let's see.
There would be two.
Two. You want
I mean,
to do
2, sorry. There can't be 3, that's what I meant to say.
Let's see,
Yeah, Justin's got one,
two.
two.
Bob has 5 committees, I think.
That's like your one, like, I can let Justin.
Okay.
Okay, Justin, you're on safety and security with Brenda.
Okay.
I'll be in the loop on that. Right.
Yeah, the information technology, Justin.
Okay.
Okay.
What was the other one, the information technology?
I think we'll, you'll get a
Right,
list.
right.
We'll get a list from
I'm gonna give you a list, I have it.
you confused yet? Because I am.
What did you
I've got them written down.
What did? Oh, yeah.
The second.
Brendan.
Okay, reports and communication. No RTA today? I'm good, thank you. Okay.
Have changed. Ed had some things, so I'm stepping in for him. Congratulations to the board members who are newly elected, so, and then also you all. Thank you for being on our board. We are excited, about the last 2 days of school, before break, and this, and looking forward to the second semester and what that all entails. And, everybody have a great and safe Christmas and holiday season.
CSEA, none? Board communication. Better wanna read that out for you?
Student board member
Student
communication.
board, sorry.
I will be Adrian this evening. He says he did not get anything back from West Park, but I will let you guys know that West Park Elementary is selling holiday grams in the front of the school. So if you want to send your kid a holiday gram or any teachers or admin, you could purchase that cash only in the front of school between 7 and 7:30 today and tomorrow. And I think that's all I have so far for this. Oh, they're doing, tomorrow is what? Dress like a Grinch Day? Tomorrow's Dress like a Grinch Day, and Friday is holiday pajamas. From Roseman Elementary, for starters, RES ASB is selling candy cane grams through tomorrow. RES also had their staff holiday party today. Food and a wonderful experience were had by all who showed up to participate. This week, RES had a Spirit Week. Monday was holiday gear. Tuesday was ugly sweater. Wednesday is holiday socks. Thursday is movie marathon day of holiday movies. We're your favorite holiday movie. We're your favorite holiday movie. Okay, and Friday is PJ Day. Also, Friday is the birthday celebration at RES. So if you have a student whose birthday is this month, they will be celebrating on Friday. Lastly, RES wishes us all happy holidays, and we will see you guys in January. At Tropical Middle School, Tropical has a few boxes left of their world's finest chocolates for their fundraisers. That's my favorite. Like, if you have almonds, come my way. I will buy something from you. Next, Tropical has new polo shirts, long sleeves, and sweatshirts that are on sale in the student store. Tropical held its student award ceremony yesterday, which was highly attended. At the ceremony, 52 students were recognized for their achievements. Tropical Eagle stores, their PBIS positive reward system has received their new items. Tropical would like to thank the board for their support. Students are recognized for good behavior, and all kinds of acts of kindness are recognized. Tropical is excited to announce their first semester achiever trips will take place in February. Lastly, Tropical would like to note that their winter band choir concert was last week. It was greatly attended by parents and the community, and would like to congratulate Mr. Ferrandini. Roseman High School. This week is the last week of school before winter break at RHS. It is finals week this Wednesday through Friday. The Roseman High cafeteria looks great, and they're working on the finishing touches. RHS is excited to have their first semester reward achiever trip on January 21st to the Griffith Observatory. The achiever trip is based on a GPA, attendance, and no referrals. RHS's second semester reward achiever trip will be held on May 6th at the LA Zoo. ELD Academy will start once we return from winter break on Monday, January 13th. ASB hosted their winter ball last Saturday, December 14th from 6 to 9 p.m. It had a photo booth and a DJF dance. Lastly, the boys soccer team I am a part of, that's Adrian, is on a 5-game winning streak. They look to continue it tomorrow at home against Fraser Mountain. Both the girls and boys soccer teams play at home tomorrow against Fraser Mountain. Regarding JV, the JV boys soccer team has a tournament at Fraser High School both this Friday and Saturday. The boys and girls basketball team will have a basketball game tomorrow against Tehachapi at Tehachapi. Updates from Mr. Noderman. RHS dual enrollment program with ABC is up and running. Previously, RHS students were taking their college classes with ABC students. Now, because of the dual enrollment program, RHS students will have the option to take their college courses in classes exclusively with RHS students. The first classes in this program will start February. Political Science 101, Anthropology 101, and Human Development 101 will be offered. Noderman states that this is an important first step in offering ABC classes on RHS during the school day next fall. Noderman would also like to note that it is still not too late to turn in forms for reimbursement for college application fees. You better turn in those applications, get those reimbursements, guys. Additionally, Ileana Birdwell has been called the RHS representative for the Daughters of the American Revolution Good Citizen Program. She will compete with students from other schools to win a scholarship. Mr. Noderman notes that his scholarship page is constantly being updated and currently has hundreds of thousands of dollars in scholarships listed. The FAFSA and CADAA is now open. Noderman states that students can begin by going to studentaid.gov. Mr. Noderman would also like to, if possible, I also want to give the congratulations to Mr. Vincelette and Mr. Wright on their election to the board. Lastly, Merry Christmas to all of you and Happy Holidays. Thank you, Adrian. I know you're not here, but thank you very much. Woo! Okay.
CBO report.
All right.
leader.
I'll do a brief one right now. Something I forgot to mention at the last board meeting, but I can bring up to this one because it's an ongoing series, is a financial literacy series that is happening at the Pratt Community Center in conjunction with Skusd First Credit Union. Their next session is January 22nd. It will be about credit and credit cards. The one that I'm interested in is in February. It's about fraud, which great time to coincide in the middle of tax season. So get some information about ways to prevent your name being used for as somebody else's to take out cards or whatever else. So I will hopefully remember to mention it again at the next board meeting as it's a little bit closer. But I wanted to get it out there and maybe it'll pique some interest. The other thing I wanted to talk about is the architects have said that the plans for West Park have made it out of DSA. There were a couple issues with fire safety and structural that got cleaned up, so they're awaiting the stamped version of all the plans from DSA, and once we get through the holidays and into next month, the information for bids will be released so that we can straight where the iron's hot in terms of the new year and just getting in front of hopefully other districts and all of their construction that they have for 2025. So, that'll be it for me for this.
Thank you. Assistant Superintendent of Instruction and Curriculum, Dr. Mendez.
Good evening, everyone, both in person and also online. Congratulations to our board member, Mr. Bitzelek, for his re-election, as well as Mr. Wright, board member Wright, for election to the board.
Thank you.
I also like to congratulate our students that are being recognized for their accomplishments throughout this semester, with different recognitions that students have received and awards. And also congratulations to Ed Services team, our ACES coordinators, our teachers and classified staff, team members that have been helping us out throughout the year and supporting our students and collaborating together, as well as our cabinet, our board, and our superintendent, Ms. Gaines, for her support on different initiatives, projects that we're working on, including like PLCs, professional learning communities, positive behavior and mental support. My kudos to everyone for everyone's help. And this semester, we want to continue the next semester, moving forward strong as well, and doing what's best for students. Okay, so my report consists of Thinking Maps PD. We had 24 team members that participated in Thinking Maps. Thinking Maps is a way to help organize thoughts in through different ways. There's different types of maps for different purposes that are applicable to different subjects. So we had a foundations training, so teachers that have not been previously trained in Thinking Maps / refresher. So maybe they just want to get more information, wanted a refresher. We had that on December 14th on Saturday, and we had a great turnout there. And our facilitator was Mandy Fisher from KCSOS, Kern County Schools. That was on December 14th. December 17th, we had PLC at work, KCSOS. We have 18 members participating in the PLC at work with Dr. Luis Cruz from Solution Tree. Additionally, 5th grade students at RES have been participating in Starbase. And they've been really excited to participate in the STEM-based activities at Starbase. They get a lot of hands-on learning experiences and opportunities there at Starbase. So they've been very excited, and they're going to continue to participate. West Park will start in January 2025 in terms of their fifth graders attending Starbase. And our site administration and school sites have been working on our school accountability report cards. Those we'll place them on the board agenda in January 2025, and then we'll have them we'll have them posted on the, translated and then posted on the school websites on or before February 1st, 2025. And that concludes my report.
Thank you.
Okay.
Assistant Superintendent of Special Education and Pupil Personnel, Cheryl Taylor.
Hello, everybody. I too want to start out by saying congratulations to the new board members and re-elect board member, as well as the new positions that everybody holds. And also thank the people who used to hold those positions for doing a great job for the last year. In addition, I have some acknowledgements for people in my department. Our special education teachers who worked extremely hard to make sure all of the IEPs that were due during first semester have been done prior to break happening. One of the assistants in my department, Dana Yan, for always making sure that all of the data is input and up to date before CDE pulls their reports. In special education, we have a lot of reports in the middle of the year. Parent educators who assist in every classroom, which allows the students and the staff teachers to be successful. And our related service providers who also worked extremely hard to get all their services up to date before break and while attending IEP meetings and keeping their service and billing logs up to date. And also I wanted to acknowledge Shannon De La Rosa, the other assistant in my office, who had 3 big reports due recently, and so she's finished our cost reimbursement comparison schedule report, our yearly report for the Department of Health Care Services, and maintained 100% input on our random moments. All of those reports bring significant amount of money to the special education department, so those are greatly appreciated. Currently, Bill DeKirk, the coordinator of special education, and myself, we're working on our final progress report for our compliance and improvement monitoring process for the CDE, and that will be completed and submitted by the due date, which is also during our break, actually. And other than that, I just want to wish everybody happy holidays, and I hope everybody's safe and with all the people they love.
Yes, I forgot to mention, happy holidays, Merry Christmas to everyone.
Associate Superintendent of Human Resources, Dan Hartz.
Good evening, everyone. I just want to, tag on with everybody else. Congratulations to our new and returning board members. I hope that everyone has a wonderful holiday season with their family and friends, and we will see you in January.
Superintendent report. Gaines.
Okay, thank you, Mr. President. I just have to go right along with everyone and say welcome, Mr. Wright. It's great to have 5 board members again to be able to serve with all 5 of you, and welcome back, Mr. Vincelet, aka Trouble. But we love him just the same, even though has that nickname. So I think it's going to be a great year, and I'm looking forward to it. I want to say today I had a Zoom meeting about our attendance in Southern Kern, and I just want to reach out to all of our students and parents who may be listening this evening. We're still doing pretty good with our attendance at the as we near the end of first semester, but we are down a little bit from where we were this time last year. So I know it's sometimes when the finals are over at the secondary, kids may think, I've already done my finals, I don't need to go on Thursday or Friday. It's really important that our students are there. And so I just want to reach out to everybody. Please make sure that everybody is there for the rest of this week. And also we all return on January 13th as we start the second semester. So I just kind of wanted to say that. And I too want to thank all of the board members and all of my cabinet members, because recently the entire board attended the California School Boards Association conference, and I can tell you they were up very, very early, and we're in a session, many of them by 8 or 8:30 in the morning, all day till 5 o'clock. So they too are lifelong learners, and I really appreciate that about them. So thank you, board members, for all 5 of you attending the California School Boards Association conference. And I want to thank my colleagues on my cabinet, because you have no idea how much work they individually do to make this district a success. Each one of them in their very unique department has a lot of responsibility. There's a lot of timelines and reports and staff members that they oversee, making sure that everything is done in compliance. And so I just want to say to all of you, thank you. You're the best. And I could not say that without thanking our teachers, because the teachers right up to Friday afternoon when we leave for holiday, I know that they're celebrating with their kids at the holidays, and also our classified staff who field phone calls and make sure that the school runs efficiently from the time the kids get off the bus to the time the very last child leaves our campus. And last but certainly not least, my site administrators, because sometimes there's only one of them present, or there may be 2 on a day, and the amount of work that they have to complete is incredible on any given day. So thank you for that. I do really appreciate that. And I just want to wish everybody a wonderful holiday. Sinus infection, which is normal for me every time I get a day off or approach a day off, I get sick. So hopefully it'll pass in the next couple of days. But yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing grandkids. I'm expecting 13 out of 15. Not bad. Not a bad average. So thank you.
Board communication. David, we'll start with you.
Because of the confidence and just being a part of the board for the past 2 years. So like I said, I'm very excited to be a part of that. I do wish all the students good luck during this finals week. I know it can be very stressful, so hang in there. We're almost, week is almost done. And I would also like to acknowledge Sunny for the great job that you did as board president. Thank you. So, definitely hard work. I think that's it, and I wish everyone a happy holiday and please be safe.
Sunny?
Hello, guys. Thank you guys for being here, watching, everybody in the room. You missed it. It's good to see you. I wanted to also mention that the holiday grams at West Park will be delivered on Friday by yours truly. So get those grams. That's right. Yours truly. Oh, stop it. Oh, stop. 7 days till Christmas, guys, so behave yourselves. A few days left.
We didn't be talking.
Behave yourselves, kids. And I just want to thank everybody for the hard work that everyone does individually, because we couldn't do it without every single one of you guys, and we're almost there. So you're going to get some time off. It's going to be good. I hope everyone has a happy holiday. Congratulations, Bob. It's good to see you back. Welcome, Mr. Wright. And that's all I have.
All right, well, my first thing is I want to thank everybody who voted for me to return for 4 more years. I promise you that it will be just as great as it has been the last 4. Got a lot of work to do, but this is something that I have joined. I appreciate a couple family members, actually there's 3 here, who showed up for my swearing-in ceremony, and thank you for Suresh, thank you for also supporting, and as far as Mr. Holmes and Mr. Wheeler. can't forget you guys because we like working with every one of you. Justin, congratulations. I'm looking forward to serving with you. We had some good times on the RMAC, so now we get to move this district forward even further and with a pretty doggone good board. Congratulations, Mario, for your year of presidency. Sonny, great year for last year. It's a pleasure serving as your board clerk. And so some of my family members I know that are actually tuning in on YouTube, so glad you're all there. Yes, I am looking forward to a great year, next great 4 years. And we've got new things coming up. We've got construction, probably of a new elementary. We've got more work to do with CTE at the high school, especially in building. Mr. B, you're probably glad to know that they finally finished your audio system today. The next thing that's coming up will be training. So we'll need to come up with a group of folks and possibly students who can be trained on getting that system going and operational. But pleasure working with you on that. I know you were looking forward to it, and I think you got yourself a good system going. So next is Tropico. So whenever we can get to that. Other than that, happy holidays, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year to everybody, and again to the cabinet and everybody for your, the hard work that you do for us and some of the work that we've done together. So let's keep that up for the next 4 years. I'm done.
Thank you. Justin?
Sure. Start off, I'd like to just thank everyone for the kind words. I look forward to working with the team. I was able to attend the CSBA conference. I learned a lot, especially the legal symposium I attended. That was pretty lengthy, but enjoyable. I have a couple notes. I've already been at work. I've spoken to Kern County Sheriffs regarding law enforcement, hopefully for our campuses in the future. I've spoken to Chief Deputy David Stevens with the Operations Department at Kern County, and hopefully it's something that we can actually get a dialogue further. We look like we're going to have an official substation in Rosemont probably December 2026. So about 2 years, we should have a new substation next to our current fire station over there. Other than that, I wish everyone a Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays.
I just want to thank everybody who is online and here present. Congratulations, Justin. Congratulations, Bob. Nice having you guys aboard. Sonny, thank you for leading us for a year.
Thank you for behaving.
I want to thank the entire staff of Southern Kern for everything they do every day. I wish I could go and thank them personally every day, but it's impossible. But I appreciate what you guys do from everybody. I mean, the custodians, the teachers, the administration, everybody. You guys all do a good job, and I thank you for that. Skills.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Joe, thank you.
You have to deal with a lot all the time. So I thank you for taking care of everything that you do.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
With that, do we have any communication from the public?
None.
Thank you.
No subcommittees?
Subcommittee. Okay. On construction, we just got PSA approval for West Park. It'll go out to bid right after the first of the year, and hopefully we'll get a nice bid that doesn't have any change orders in it. I know. It's wishful thinking. We are really moving forward on the cafeteria. Hopefully that'll be done soon. There's a few more things that need to be done. We have another project that's in DSA that I'm not gonna talk about. Mr. Direction knows which one that is. We've got some other programs that we're working on now that we've passed the bond. There's a lot of work to be done in the next few years to really bring our Southern Current up to a very modern facilities all the way through from one end to the other. So with that, that's it. Anybody else have anything for their subcommittee?
We have lots of policies to go over. No.
Okay. Consent items, A through L. Does anybody have any questions?
So unless there goes, I will motion to accept.
Second?
Motion by Vincelette, seconded by Pepper. All in favor?
Aye.
Except I need to abstain from item B. I am on that portion for the pay voucher.
We will pull that out, A through L minus B. So you now have 5 votes on that. On item B, do I have a motion? Moved by Vincelette. Seconded by?
Okay.
By Redden. All in favor? Aye. So 4 ayes, 1 abstention. General, CCEE DTA data from dashboard. Mr. Westler, or do you go?
I'm going to introduce. Thank you.
I'm sorry.
Well, today is, or this evening, I should say, is your lucky evening. Because tonight, it's rare that it happens, but you are going to have a presentation by the eye candy of the district, Mr. Dan Wexler. So you can all thank me.
At this moment, I'd like to accept the nomination of being eye candy for the district.
All those in favor?
Frankly, I feel like it's a long time coming.
It's been a long time, but go run with it. You got it.
Thank you, I appreciate that. Okay,
Maybe like
Bigger.
the
Yeah, because I can't see that.
other one, but yeah.
We need to.
A little bit more.
Please, a little more.
It's gonna make it harder to see.
okay, I can't get any response.
I'll just scroll.
Okay, will you go back to the title page, please? And scroll down. Okay, I'm gonna give a presentation on the California School Dashboard.
Speak up, please.
The dashboard is like a report card for schools and districts in the state of California. Has a variety of metrics that measure how the districts and schools do, both in terms of how they did this year and compared to the previous year. So next slide, please. Okay, we're going to start with an overview of our dashboard performance. So we're going to look at each of these metrics right now very briefly, and then we'll dive deeper into them as we go throughout the presentation.
Mr. Wexler, may I just suggest that you tell them that this data is from 23-24 school year?
Yes,
This is the 2024 dashboard. It's looking at data from last year, the 23-24 school year. So for the dashboard, it has these 7 metrics: chronic absenteeism, suspension rate, English learner progress, graduation rate, college and career, English language arts, and mathematics. Each one uses a 5-point scale, a color scale. Red is the lowest, it's 1. Then orange is 2. Yellow is 3. Green is 4, and blue is the highest, is 5 of data. So we do a self-analysis, and we met standard on basics, implementation of academic standards, parent and family engagement, local climate, and access to a broad course of study. Now we're going to, can you go to the next slide, please? Now we're going to take a look at how the metrics are evaluated, how the colors are assigned. It's a 2-part system. First is how did we perform during the school year last year, and then it's a comparison to the previous year. So again, this is the y-axis. So you've got very high, high, medium, low, and very low. And then this is the x-axis. You've got decline significantly, decline, maintain, increase, and increase significantly. Could you scroll down a little bit, please? So this is for English language arts. So we scored, we mostly scored in the low area for English language arts. So if you decline significantly in your low, you'd be orange. If you maintained, you'd be orange. But if you improve or improve significantly, you'd be yellow. If you're very low and you decline significantly, declined or maintained, you'd be red. But if you improve or improve significantly, you'd be orange. Okay, next slide. Okay, this is for ELA. ELA is measured by the CASP assessments, which we're looking at distance from standard. So the CASP assessments is a 4-point scale. You've got standard not met as a 1, standard nearly met as a 2, standard met is a 3, and standard exceeded is a 4. What this measures is how far below standard met we are, the very bottom level of standard met. So we were 60 points below standard met, and this is for overall, for the district overall. We were 60 points below standard, but we improved by nearly 12 points. So we're low, but we increased. That moves us to the yellow. And these are our subgroups. As you can see, African American, homeless, and students with disabilities are all in the very low level, but they increased significantly, which brought them to orange. Next slide. Next, let's look at, could you drag Justin right up, please? Perfect, thank you. Scroll down, please. Down. Okay, next we're looking at ELA, which is measured through the CASP assessments by school. So again, overall, 60 points below standard, increased by nearly 12 points. But we can see RES struggled last year. They were in the very low level at 85 points below standard, and they went down instead of up. So RES is in the red. West Park is in the yellow. They're only 22 points below standard, and they increased 6 points, so they're low and increased. TMS is 73 points below standard. They increased by 22 points, so that got them to the orange. The high school was only 9 points below standard, so the high school almost met standard. Nearly 30-point increase, so a truly remarkable performance by the high school ELA department. And Abe Lincoln was 68 points below standard, increased 23 points. And Rare Earth was 117 points below standard, increased by nearly 28 points. So we see a lot of growth in ELA from last year. Next slide, please. Next, we're moving on to CASP Math by subgroup. Math, the performance is not as good as ELA. Instead of being mostly in yellow, we're mostly in orange. So overall, we're 102 points below standard, an increase, but we did see a nice increase in math, which got us out of the red and into the orange. You only need a 3-point increase to move up to the higher level. So the 3-point increase got us to orange. So 7.6 points increase overall. African Americans, 137 points below standard, an increase of 10 points, 10.5 points. Foster youth, 162 points below standard, a decline of 25 points. Homeless, 107 points below standard, an increase of 2.5 points. You need a 3-point increase to get out of the orange and into the red. They only increased by 2.5. So our homeless subgroup is in the red. And then students with disabilities and EL are both in the orange. Students with disabilities minus 169 points below standard, but an increase of 14 points. Next slide, please. Next, we're looking at math CASP distance from standard by school. Again, overall, we're 102 points below standard, but we increased 7.6 points. RES, 99 points below standard, but an increase of nearly 10 points got them to the orange. West Park, only 40 points below standard, an increase of 12 points got them into the yellow. The middle school and the middle school, 125 points below standard, an increase of 4 points got them to the yellow. The high school is 120 points below standard, but they increased 26 points. So that's a significant increase. And Abraham Lincoln was 149 points below standard and declined nearly 10 points that got them into the red. And Rare Earth, 203 points below standard, an increase of 14 points, not enough students to get a performance color. Next slide, please. Next comes chronic absenteeism. Chronic absenteeism is like golf. You want a lower score instead of a higher score, so a decline is good. Overall, and I added a column for chronic absenteeism. So this column is current year data from kids, so we can project how well we're doing this year. Overall, 26, so chronic absenteeism is absent 10% or more of the time. So absent once every 2 weeks or more. Overall, 26.6% of our students last year were chronically absent, a decline, which is good, of 6.6%. And well, I'll talk about what we're projected to do this year at the end. African American, 33% of our African American students were absent 10% or more of the time last year, a decline of 8.7%, which is good. Foster youth, 28% absentee, chronically absent, a decline of 2.3%. Homeless and students with disabilities were both over 32%. Homeless improved by 12%, and students with disabilities improved by 3%, and our EL students improved by 1.6% to get them to 26.9% chronically absent. Would you scroll, please? The other way? Okay, so looking at our data from this year from kids, 21% of our students are chronically absent this year. That's an improvement of 5.6%, so we're projected to improve significantly this year as well. And each subgroup is projected to improve significantly as well. Look at our foster youth, down only 13% chronic absentee.
Dan, what's kids?
Kids is our data warehouse. So we take all of the district's learning data and all of the district on the dashboard, suspensions, chronic absenteeism, and we import it into kids, and kids analyzes our data for us. So they're able to run reports like what percent of our students are chronically absent this year. Okay, next slide. Chronic absenteeism by school. Again, we're 26.6% chronically absent last year overall, but this year we're projected to be 21%. Overall, we improved 6.6%, so we declined significantly. That gets us to the yellow. For RES, they declined significantly, getting them to the yellow. West Park and TMS both declined significantly, getting them to the yellow. West Park chronic absenteeism was 21%, TMS was 30%. And you can see a significant decline this year as well. So we will stay in the yellow, maybe we'll get to blue, but I'm not good at making predictions. Okay, so let's move on to suspension rate. Okay, our suspension rate last year was 6.2%, a decline of 3%, so that's a very significant decline. So that gets us into the yellow. We can look at our subgroups now. Our African Americans, 13.6% of our African American students were suspended at least once last year. That's the bad news. The good news is that's a decline of 6.5% from the previous year. Our foster youth, up to 19% of our foster youth were suspended at least once last year. And they maintained, they did not decline. That puts our foster youth in the red for suspensions. Homeless, 5.7%, a decline of 4%. That puts them in the yellow. Students with disability, 10.5%, a decline of 2.5%. So that puts them in the yellow. And English learners are in the green with a 4.1% suspension rate, a decline of 4.3%. Let's move on to suspension to LP. Okay, this is our trouble spot from last year. It hasn't been a trouble spot previously, but it's a trouble spot last year. LP is taken from the LPAC summative assessment. If students grow in the LPAC summative assessment, they have progressed. So last year, 34.1 of our EL students progressed to the next level in LP. You're going to notice that we declined across the board. A nearly 10% decline last year from the previous year. RES was a little bit better, 36.7%. So instead of being very low and being in the red, they were in the low, but they declined nearly 5%. West Park was better. 42.3% of EL students at West Park improved on their LPAC summative assessment, but that's a decline of 7%. TMS, 40%. They only declined 1.6%, but this one is remarkable. The high school, only 16% of our high school EL students improved on the summative LPAC assessment, and that's a decline of 32.7% from the previous year. So that's something that I know the cabinet is looking into, Barbara's looking into, Noemi is looking into. Okay, next, graduation rate. We can pat ourselves on the back for a great job at the upper school level. We're in the blue. I repeat, we're in the blue. That's a 5 out of 5. 90.5% of our high school seniors graduated last year, an improvement of 6.3%. That puts us in the blue. For our African Americans, 78% of our African Americans graduated last year. That's an improvement of 8.2%. Not enough data for foster. Homeless, 88.5% of our homeless students graduated, an increase of 25%, puts them in the green. Students with disabilities, 78.6% graduated, an increase of 8%, puts them in the yellow. And our EL students, 85%. Improved, an increase of nearly 10%, that puts them in the green. So this is an area of great strength for the district. Next is CCI, College and Career Readiness. Overall, 26.5% of our high school seniors graduated being college or career ready. That's an increase of 6.8%. Our African Americans, only 5.6% of African Americans were college or career ready. That's a decline of 3.1%. No performance color, not enough data for foster. Homeless, 11.5% of our homeless students were college or career ready. That's an increase of 11 below standard, and declined, that puts them in the red. They didn't decline, they maintained. To decline would be a -3. But still, they're very low and they maintain, that puts them in the red. For math, we get math from the CASP, from distance from standard. We're lower in math than ELA. We're 102 points below standard in math, an increase of 7.6%. We're very low in increase for math overall. Homeless was in the red. They only increased 2.5 points. If they had increased 3 points, that would have taken them out of the red. Okay, math CASP for schools overall. Scroll down, please. Okay, for overall, we already saw we're 102 points below standard, an increase of 7.6 points. West Park is in the yellow. They're only 40 points below standard. They increased by 12 points. And Abraham Lincoln is 149 points below standard. They decreased by 10 points. They're very low and they decline. They're in the red. Next is chronic absenteeism. This is an area of strength for the district. It's projected to be an area of strength for the district for next year. Overall, we were 26.6 points below standard, an increase of about 6 points, or a decrease of 6 points, which is good. And we're projected to decrease another 5.5 points for next year for chronic absenteeism. So that's a strength for the district. Suspension rate. We were 6.2% of our students were suspended at least once last year. That's an improvement of 3%. And we're projected to do better than that next year. Foster youth, Foster youth, it's hard for me to see. Last year foster youth is in the red. Last year, 19% of our foster youth were suspended. That maintained, they didn't improve, but they're projected to do much better this year, so we should be okay. Suspension rate. Overall, our suspension rate was 6.2%. At TMS last year, the suspension rate was 13%, which was an improvement of 5 points. We're projected, maybe the suspension rate will double between now and the end of the year, but it's still projected to do much better. Well, maybe, I mean, we do have half the year left, but probably it'll be less than double. The high school had an 8.9% suspension rate last year, but they're only at 2% this year, so we're projected to do much better at the high school. In my opinion, the alternative suspension program is effective for the middle school and the high school. I'll scroll down, please. Rare earth, 16% of students last year at rare earth were suspended. This year, 9% of the students at rare earth have been suspended. So that's a potential trouble spot that we need to look at. English learner progress. This is our troublesome area. Last year, 34% of our EL students made progress in LP, putting us in the red, very low, and declined by nearly 10%. In the high school, only 16% of high school EL students improved their LP score, a decline of 32.7%. Graduation rate, area of strength for the district. 90.5% of high school seniors graduated last year, increased 6.3%. That puts us in the blue, high and increased significantly. College and career readiness, 26.5% of our high school seniors were college or career ready last year. That's an increase of 6.8%. That puts us in the yellow. And that concludes my presentation on the dashboard.
The dashboard,
Yeah.
yes.
Are there any questions about the dashboard? Okay. Next, we want to talk about our differentiated assistance program. The district works with KCS and also works with the CEE, with the CCEE program, the California Collaborative for Educational Excellence. We collaborate with both of those organizations on differentiated assistance. Last year, our focus was on PBIS, as well as PLCs. So we just want to talk a little bit about what we're doing with KCSOS and CCEE to improve the district by focusing on PLCs and PBIS. PBIS is positive behavioral interventions and supports. PLCs is the teachers getting together at their grade level or their department and planning lessons, sharing data, sharing best practices, planning. Okay, so we're going to share the latest performance outcomes connected with our identified student groups. So these are the student groups that were in the red in I think 2 or more areas that caused us to be in differentiated assistance.
And Dan, can you just tell them at the end of last year, how many of those student groups qualified us for differentiated assistance again?
I believe none.
None of them.
But we're still in differentiated assistance because you have to be out of DEA for 3 years in order to get out. You have to be out of, in terms of qualifying for DA, you have to be out of that for 3 years in order to actually get out of DA. So we're still going to be working with KCSOS, and I don't know about CCD.
So Dan, I'm just going to interrupt you. So although those 4 student populations came out, English learners went in. So this is going to be like, I don't know. It is 3 years. We were very disappointed because we thought we were out until they thought we were out. And then they came back and said, well, 3 years. Go on, Dan.
Scroll down, please. Okay, so we're going to talk about PLCs. We're going to talk about what is working well with our PLCs. We have a solution tree, consultants or associates working with each school site, providing training and support for our PLCs at each school site. We have professional development with Dr. Fisher, who is a world-renowned educator, working with teacher clarity, learning intentions, close reading strategies and success criteria. We're working with Dr. Becky Wetzel on essential standards in math and ELA and learning progressions. We have the grading committee with Ken O'Connor. We're working on standards-based report cards. Scroll down, please. Next, what measure demonstrates the system is effectively achieving these outcomes? We have CASP score improvements in ELA and math on the 2024 dashboard. We have our benchmark assessments, which will show some growth. I'll run the reports over winter vacation. We have improved college and career readiness on the dashboard. We've increased the number of students who are dually enrolled. What challenges has the team encountered during this time? There's a lack of time. Teachers have been offered extra duty pay to meet before or after school, but we don't have enough regular minimum days for PLCs. Effective immediately, 30 minutes of regular PLC meetings will be dedicated to integrated ELD.
And that is to integrated ELD is to sort of support the fact that our English learners scored very low in 23-24. So integrated ELD, we have designated ELD at all of our sites. That 30-minute block of time at high school, it's longer, where our English learners are getting that their instruction as a group of English learners. But what we need to improve and do a little better is the integrated time where they're in the rest of their classes, where everybody knows how to provide strategies that will impact the English learner. So that was a suggestion from the federal progress monitoring that we now have in place.
Okay, what next actions will get you to where you want to go? We want to stay the course. We have good programs in place. We want to continue working with the consultants we're working with and continue with the programs that we've implemented. Scroll down, please. Next is PBIS. What is working well with PBIS? We have the Achiever trips, which are successful. We've narrowed our focus to PBIS and PLCs in our differentiated assistance work. We have the Character Strong program, Hope Squad, SEL groups, parent workshops and open forums. We have the Parent Community Center. All admin have been trained in alternative to suspension and restorative practices. We have an alternative to suspension program at the middle school and the high school, and we have CPI training. What measures?
You might want to just put it in case someone doesn't know. SEL, or
Social Emotional Learning.
Yeah, let's not talk in acronyms. Let's explain.
Okay. What measures demonstrate the system is effectively achieving these outcomes? Decreased suspension rate on the 24 dashboard, decreased chronic absenteeism, improved graduation rates. What challenges has the team encountered during this time? We have a lack of availability for whole district PD. We are lacking in full teacher buy-in and full implementation. Scroll down, please. What next actions will get you to where you want to go? We want to continue with the professional development that we're offering. We want to add classroom management training with ongoing coaching. And we want to set up student stores on every campus. Okay, that concludes my presentation. Are there any questions?
Thank you.
All right, thank you very much.
Thanks for the eye care, team.
Sorry. But look, I went viral.
There you go. All right.
Curricula and instruction, independent study, master agreement, recommended.
Yes, on page 113 of the board packet, there's a copy of the independent study master agreement. So this goes along with the updated board policy, independent study board policy, so that school sites can use this as a tool to help monitor student progress for students that are either a short-term independent study contract or a long-term independent study contract. Short-term is 15 days or less, whereas long-term is 16 days or more.
In the camera. You're in the camera.
For the independent study agreement there, this will help district and students in different ways. And it's set up by the school sites in collaboration with the teachers, the parent, and the student administration. And students will, for example, if they, an example is, say, they had to leave out of the area on an emergency basis, right? Or they have a procedure that's going to be coming up in the near future, right? So they can plan with the school sites in terms of putting together what that learning agreement would look like for the students, and then upon completion, they can get credit for that time, as opposed to just offering Saturday school. They also can get grade credit by completing the work. So they complete the work. Teachers review the work that was assigned, or the master agreement that they would fill out. In the future, we could possibly transition that to inform K-12 platform, and we'd have to collaborate and connect with Robert, other departments as well, and see if that would be feasible. For now, this is a hard copy. It is also available digital. We typed into it, but through the Inform K-12 platform is something we can explore in the future. Any questions on the independent study master agreement?
No, it looks good. I like how the parents have to kind of sign in and say, hey, I'm responsible for my child. You can't be on other campuses without permission and all the things. So it's good.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, so this time is, just wanted to share with everyone on the board and Ms. Gaines that the form that they would use, and we can adapt and modify if we transition that to Inform K-12 in the future, something we can explore.
So this will help with attendance by doing this, if you miss a day, to get the day back.
Or I don't think it's one day.
It could be it could be from 1 day all the way to 15 days for a short-term independent study contract.
Okay.
And then for 16 days, in the past, that is correct, in the past it was a minimum of 3 days. But with the new law, the new updates, schools can recover credit for as a minimum of 1 day. Just the new updates and compared to the past, but that is correct. In the past, it was they had to have at least 3 days for a short term. And in this case, short term could be 1 day up to 15 days, and long term 16 days and over. But the short term can be signed any time throughout the school year, whereas the long term has to be signed before the contract is implemented. So beforehand, they're going to be out a couple of weeks, and this has to be planned out, it has to be signed by everyone in order for a student to get credit. Or short term could be signed, it has to be within a school year still, 1 day to 15 days.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Business operation, first in from report, Mr. Irvin.
Thank you. All right, anybody else? All right, so let's get the show started. The first interim, so for starters, what is an interim? This is the period between July 1st and October 31st, where, given the nature of the way schools in California receive funding and budgets work and all of that, this is an opportunity to check in to see where we are now versus, okay, if we wait till next May and then all of a sudden we realize, oh no, things didn't go the way we planned a year ago. So this is, the first interim of the presentations happen in December for this, and then in March we'll have a similar slideshow that will be through January 31st, so that we continue with periodic updates throughout the year. So starting things off with revenue, originally budgeted revenues were at $68.3 million. Going through the process and seeing where everything settled after the budget was approved by the state and the governor and legislature in July, factoring in a couple other things like increased property taxes and recognition of federal funds, increases our revenue from 68 million to 71 million. What I mean by recognition of federal funds is when we receive money from the federal government, we don't get to count that as revenue until that money is actually spent. So while we got, a bunch of COVID money and we get, Title I and Title II, different funding or areas of funding from the federal government, until we spend that money, we don't get to really call that revenue, and it's, unearned until we spent it. So that's, a little bit of a definition there. Our unrestricted revenues are based off the LCFF calculator. The LCFF calculator is a tool put out by FICMET, which is a statewide organization that helps districts manage money. They were, came about because a bunch of districts went bankrupt in the early 90s, so a new organization was found. And then when Governor Brown was governor the last time, they implemented what was called the LCFF. So this tool takes our property tax value, our estimated revenues from Prop 98, our anticipated ADA, and as well as our anticipated EPA funds, and plug in data to the calculator, and it gives out, okay, this is what your unrestricted state money will be, and how much of that is tied to LCAP or not, depending on the district's unduplicated percentage. That LCAP amount, will change. For our district, we're about 80, we're a little bit north of 80% for unduplicated students. So that's our homeless foster, EL, free reduced lunch. So that, and then our restricted funds include our federal funds and some of our state funds, such as the Expanded Learning Opportunity Program, which are, here's money that, has more strings attached to it of specifically what you do with it. Yeah. We're estimated, or at this point, ADA is estimated at about 3,418, which is up from prior years. We're making and have been making steady progress in terms of ADA since students returning back after the pandemic. This is aided partly because our enrollment has increased, but even with, without that, every year we've moved up from high 80, 89, 88% in 22, 23 to we're almost at 93% for this year. Knock on wood, everything stays at least steady, if not increases, but time will tell with that. There we go. Here's a breakdown of what our revenues are, and where you can see that, local and state has jumped a little bit, federal, recognizing the, those federal dollars as we spent them so far this year, has increased that. Our other state revenues, these are more of our categorical things like ELLP and home to transportation and ADG and all these other, specific programs that we get money for. But there's a reduction in our other local revenue. This is because as we receive funds, they sit in the county treasury, they accrue interest. And with the reduction of the amount of federal dollars that we've had and have been going through over the years, we're starting to see a reduction in the amount of interest that we're accruing because we frankly don't have that money just, sitting in the county treasury waiting to be spent. So there's a little bit of a reduction there. As we, receive money, we also spend money. We have expenditures of $72.6 million, which is the combination of everything that's in general fund of our restricted and unrestricted dollars. Where again, we've maintained, fairly robust summer schools with 2 sessions. We have more employees this year than we've had in several years, both on the certificated and classified side. We, as the district grows, we need, more supplies. We've pushed out a lot of PD over the last several years, and that has continued. For the positions that we haven't been able to fill yet, there are some service providers that we are, instead of salary, we're paying for them out of a different area, just because we still need the supports. And capital expenditures have, continued as purchasing of, large scale vehicle, not large scale, but, vehicles, construction, updated equipment for like grounds and maintenance, all of those kinds of things. We, as we grow, we need everything else to continue to move with us so that we don't, have growth and then just stagnated facilities and everything else around. Our supplemental and concentration dollars, these are the money specifically earmarked in the districts, or for the district's LCAP that target the unduplicated pupils. It's a budget, or not budgeted, it's about $13.2 million, which is a slight increase from a previous years. Sorry. Okay, and then salary and benefits. This is a wonky one because we have so much construction happening within our general fund that if we exclude the cost of the RES construction that's happening with ELLP money and the projects that are within our LCAP, we're at about 79% of, all the other expenditures being salary and benefits. If we factor those in, we're closer to 70%. So kind of, have the asterisk there just so that it's noted that, there are some large one-time expenditures happening. And then we have not, begun formal negotiations with RTA or CSEA. So as the year progresses, this will change more than likely, but don't really know what that looks like yet to be able to, try and assume any numbers for it. Here we can see that more or less across the board, not salaries, but expenditures have increased. The only place that is declined at the moment is certificated salary budgeted at the beginning of the year versus where we are now. And this is because there are still some teaching vacancies that we have yet to put bodies in yet. So there's a decline of about $10,000 there from the initial budget. But there have been and the same with the benefits there. Again, not having those bodies there. So that cost is, gone down into the services and other operating expenditure where you see a giant leap there. That's partially